Hi, I'm Todd Alpeter with Vantage Group, and in this demonstration I'm going to take you through using the Vantage Group website to respond to customer quotes or to create customer quotes. The first thing you'll need in order to use the Vantage Group website is obviously a login to the website. If you don't currently have one, you can click the New User Sign Up button up here at the top. When you click on that, you fill out the form, and someone from Vantage Group will respond to you within 24 hours with your credentials for the site. However, if you've already done that and you have an existing login, you can click on the existing user login button and enter your credentials on the login page. Once you log into the member area of the Vantage Group website, you're going to find a variety of tools available for you to use. Most importantly, the one that we're looking at today is the Manage Quotes tool, and that is found by clicking on this particular icon here. When you enter the quotes area of the Vantage Group website, you're going to find that you'll initially be presented with a list of existing quotes that are sitting out there waiting for you to respond to them. On this page, you can do a variety of different things. You can look up a particular quote by putting in a particular quote number, should you have it. You can also view quotes based on their status, waiting on quotes, quoted, customer viewed, or ordered. Or you can click the Show All button that will show all the quotes that are available in the system that you have access to. So by clicking on the Show All button, you'll see that I have a variety of different quotes here, some that have been ordered, and all of the different statuses that are available. We're going to focus on responding to a quote today, so I'm going to go back and I'm just going to show them that are in the waiting on quote status, and I'm going to grab this first one on the top here. So I open up my quote by clicking on the actual quote number as I just demonstrated. And you can see that when I come into the quote here, there's a couple of items that are listed as well as some information here up at the top regarding who is specifically looking for this quote. So this quote has actually been asked for by a customer by the name of Sample Customer at this location in Crystal Lake, and the actual person requesting the quote was Todd Alpeter. So here's my 4 items listed down here. So the first item that I'm going to go through is this ideal item. Now, one of the things that I can see is there is a national price established for this particular ideal item. That's telling me that there is an SBA or some other kind of pricing information out there in the system for this particular customer. If I want to use the national pricing, I can just simply click the Use National Pricing button here up at the top, and what that will do is that will go ahead and set the price to be equal to the national price for any items that have a national price established. I can also edit that and go below that if I wanted to, so I can lower the price. However, I cannot go above the national price. That will give me an error. This next item here is a Square D circuit breaker, and there was not a national price established for it. So the way that I would actually go ahead and put a price on that item, assuming that I can, is I'm just going to click Edit on that particular item, and I'm going to fill in a price of $10 for that particular item. I'll hit Update, and now you can see that my second item has been priced. There's a couple other things that I can do, such as I could have selected to not quote that item on the edit page, but in this case we went ahead and filled in a price. The third item on the quote here is a write-in item that the customer did, and they're looking for a Bussmann 3 amp fuse. Well, we know the exact part number of what that would be, so I can go ahead and substitute in the actual correct product for the write-in item that they have here. So I'm going to go ahead and click Substitute. So after clicking the substitute link, I'm brought to the substitute item page here. It will show me again across the top the specific items that I was looking for, but since I know the actual part number for this, we're going to go through here. I'm going to put in the manufacturer, selected Bussmann. Because I didn't put in a part number here, you can see that it is giving me an error at the top telling me that I need to put in a part number. I put in a part number FRS-R3. If I click on the UPC code, it will show me that item. It will bring it up. I can adjust the price if I wanted to on this particular item. So let's make those $15. And I can put in a note. So this now shows me that the item was substituted, and I can go ahead and return to the quote. So you can see my substituted item is now highlighted in a blue color. Again, we do that so that the customer sees that we have overwritten what their original choice was. For the fourth item, what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and price this item. They've asked for a Square D 30 circuit panel board. We don't know the exact part number for that one, or maybe this is an engineered product. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to edit that item. You'll see the screen looks a little different than it did before, because with a write-in item, we need to provide a little bit more information. So we've got the manufacturer picked. The quantity is 1. I'm going to go ahead and put a price of $200 on that particular item. Now, one of the other things that happens with these catalogs is we have to provide what's called a UNSBSC code, or a categorization code. The simplest way to do that is by selecting from the quick pick list here and picking whatever is closest to the product that you're trying to provide. In this case, I've found a panel board. I can go ahead and select that, and then I will be done. If I'm putting in something that is very custom, I actually can build out my UNSBSC code. I have to do that by choosing the 4 different segments of the UNSBSC code. Again, my recommendation is to usually find whatever is closest in the quick pick list, select that, and be done and on your way. So now that I've got all my items in my quote priced and ready to go, I can go ahead and submit this quote. There's one last thing that I need to do, and that is set an expiration date. So I'm going to go ahead and try to submit the quote to show you what will happen if I have not set one. And you can see that it gave us an error up at the top of the screen telling us that the quote can't be submitted without an expiration date. The expiration date is essentially how long the customer can continue to add this quote to their shopping cart. So you might want to set it for a week. You might want to set it for a year. It is completely 100% up to you for the length that you want to make it available for. I'm going to make it good for the next month. I've set the expiration date, and now I can go ahead and submit the quote. At this point in time, the quote has been submitted to the customer. That's all that you need to do. Behind the scenes, an email is going to get sent to the end user letting them know that a quote is out there and is ready for them, and that they can retrieve it and go ahead and order it and put it into their catalog. The other way that you'll be using the quote feature is where you'll actually go through and create a quote. A good example of this happening would be where a customer has gone ahead and emailed you a bill of material or possibly faxed it over to you, and they want you to create it in the system so that they can order it through their Punch-Out catalog. Quite simply, take the bill of material, come into the Vantage Group website. At the quote screen, we're going to hit Create a New Quote up here. It's going to ask you some questions. I will create one for the sample customer, the Crystal Lake location, and I will create it for Todd Altpeter. Once I select that information for who the quote is being created for, and again, if you don't see their name in that list, that means that they've never actually gone into the Vantage Group Punch-Out catalog on the customer side. So you'll need to tell them, in order to create a quote for them, they'll need to at least go into our catalog at least one time and fill out the basic registration information. You can see that my quote looks the same as it did before. The only difference is there are no items added. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add an item. Again, I can put in a part number or a UPC code. This time I picked a part number. I'll go ahead and add another item. And I'll add one last item. This item I'm going to add is a write-in item. So for example, if I wanted to quote a panel board that does not have a part number or a UPC, again, it's a custom product, I can click the I can't find the part link right here. When that happens, I'll come in and pick the manufacturer. I can put in a part number, UPC code, or a description, whichever I have. Again, I'll have to produce a UNSBSC code and a price. So the 3 items have been created in my quote. There is one other thing that we can do, and we can add items from what we call a part list. If for some reason you are regularly providing a group of materials or a group of products to a customer, you can group those together and create a part list. To add items from a part list, I would click the Add from List button. I have 2 items out here that are on this list. Quite simply, to add those items, I just put the quantity that I want to add and hit the shopping cart. You can see that those are in there. I'll go back to the quote. Now, because those 2 items were actually already in the catalog, it did go ahead and add duplicates of them, as you can see. So now that my quote is all put together, again, the last thing I need to do is set my expiration date. Once my quote has been submitted, the customer will receive an email letting them know that that quote is ready in the system for them to pick up. And they can quite simply, with 4 clicks in their system, go ahead and turn that quote into an order. I did show you a parts list before, so I just want to quickly go over how we would create and add items to a parts list. So back from our original quotes page, if you've got a group of items that you want to build into a custom part list, quite simply at the top you hit Parts Lists. We'll go ahead and give the list a name. This one I will call Sample. I hit Create List. You can see that it's been created underneath here. If you click on it, it's actually going to show you the items that are in the list. Since there's none in this one, we can click the Add Items to List button. And again, using that same screen that you saw before, I can go ahead and add an item. Putting the quantity. I can add other items. And you can see that I have those available. Once everything is good, they will automatically be saved in the parts list. And in the future, I can simply just add the items from a parts list by clicking on there. I can edit them at any point in time if I want to take items out or delete them. And that's how you manage and maintain a part list. Thanks for watching this quick demonstration of the Vantage Group quoting system, and I hope you have a great day.